Hey, Blue Table fans! It is your grand privilege and pleasure to review with me today the Warriors of Chaos Codex. This is the first of possibly many reviews that I'm going to do of this book and talk a lot more about it. I've just had a day or two to take a look at it, and so I'm going to give you my initial impressions. Let's go ahead and open it up. This is a hardback. I do believe it's the 6th one that's been made for Warhammer 8th edition. So hardback, color, pictures, and that is really a step up for Games Workshop. So good for them. They are improving their product. They are really putting out some really absolutely amazing stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. The gifts of the gods have not changed. Chaos armor is the same. And there may be minor changes to the marks. Mark of Caorn still gives Frenzy. Tzeentch still improves Ward Save by 1, thank goodness. -1 to hit Nurgle in close combat. And Mark of Slaanesh automatically passes Fear, Terror, and Panic checks. Not break tests, by the way. So let's go ahead and just take a quick look through. First off, they've added Manticore as one of the mounts, and that is an awesome kit by Games Workshop. In fact, let me see if I can find it. They released it for Storm of Magic, which is pretty cool because that allowed them to make some sales of it and then release it with the Chaos book. So that's what a Manticore looks like. That I do believe that same kit also makes a Chimera. I'm not completely sure. Maybe somebody can talk to me about that. So Chaos Warriors, Chosen are still in there. Hellstriders are new. They seem a little, I don't know, a little offbeat because you have like this regular Norse kind of almost historical looking guy and on this very colorful demonic steed of Slaanesh. But you know, they just explain it in the game background and away we go. So good for them. They have a weapon upgrade called Hell Scourges, which I believe is 1 point, and they get always strikes first, only in the first round of combat. So there's that. Chaos Knights Skull Crushers are Chaos Warriors on Juggernauts, which is pretty cool. You have Chimera. This is now a special choice. Whoa, hello, I'm kind of off here. Sorry about that. Chimera is a special choice. And it's just basically a big flying monster. It has upgrades for Flaming Breath, Regeneration, Venomous Ooze. Pretty much a stock monster stat line: 4 wounds, 5 toughness, 6 strength. Nothing really to write home about, but I don't believe they're that expensive. Forsaken are now in the core section, and they just have like random mutations that they get. Quite frankly, I'm not sure whether these guys are Chaos Warriors is really the way to go. Obviously, you need less models because the Forsaken do cost more. We're going to get to some of the costs here pretty soon. Chaos Trolls, Chaos Ogres, Dragon Ogres have an awesome new kit out. Hell Cannons, I don't know if the Hell Cannon has changed. I haven't really read that one very much. It has a ward save. Did it always have that? Chaos War Shrines now are a chariot mount for a wizard, and also they have moved to the special section. So I say good for Chaos War Shrines. They actually are chariots, and there's shrine bearers now. So instead of being pulled by chaos horses or whatever, it has like these 2 mutated giant or ogre guys on it. So that's pretty cool. It's die 6 plus 2 strength 4 attacks for those guys. So it's not bad. I'm going to be getting to the chariot pretty soon. I haven't read anything on the Chaos Giants. I hope they made them good, because look at all these special rules, and then nobody takes them because they basically just they have no armor. It's a lack of defenses that really makes the giant kind of a turd. So, but who knows? The big kit that they made, as they have with every single army, like with Tomb Kings, they have the Necrosphinx. The War Sphinx and Necrosphinx. For Empire, they have the Hurricaneum and Luminarch. For whatever it was. What the heck is it? For, oh my gosh, why is my brain going down? It's the Terrorgeist for vampire counts, etc., etc. So the Chaos have their big guy. Mutalith is kind of weird. It has an innate bound spell level 5, so unfortunately it does require magic dice and has all the chances of failure and being dispelled and everything for its special power. So I usually turn away from things that require power dice in the magic phase. It's just too iffy. But there it is. You know, don't always take my advice. So basically, you just it makes the unit take a bunch of toughness tests, and then things happen. It creates spawn. It changes their stats and so forth. Anyway, Slaughter Brute is just basically a big old monster. And his stat line's pretty impressive with strength 7, toughness 5. You have to look at the defenses, though, on these monsters to see, well, you know, like the Hell Pit Abomination, that thing's so great because it has regeneration. And that allows it to take those really tough hits and keep swinging. So, and then you have all these special characters. Notably, Throg the Troll King still allows you to take trolls as core, so those of you that made that weirdo army, you're not out of luck. And Kolok, Sun Eater, etc. The lores have changed. I haven't really read through them. Tzeentch, basically, Glean Magic, it not only allows you to cast the spell, but it actually steals the spell from the enemy wizard. Like, they can't cast it anymore, and I do believe their caster level goes down too, so that's really amazing. One thing cool about Chaos is that the hero types get to have chaos mutations and powers, and these don't count against your magic item limit. They get like half again. So a guy that can take 50 points of magic items can take 25 points of chaos mutations and powers. So when you're looking at these, you have to look at the breaking points, like how many of them are under 25. So and it's a lot. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 of them are 25 points or less. And that's fantastic. The ones that seem good to me is Hideous Visage for 5 points, gives your character fear, but other people can't use his leadership, but that doesn't matter. That is a great mark to give your BSB, if you ask me. And because the opposing unit, just because of that one guy that has fear, will have to take that fear check. So that's pretty good. If I get any rules wrong, just let me know. So lots of color pictures, just amazing stuff, just really outstanding. Here's those Hell Scourges. Those guys are pretty cool. Those guys are really, really neat models, and actually they're really good. I actually think Marauders of all sorts are going to end up in the dustbin, is my prediction. Okay, Exalted Hero. Just want to point out a few items here. And like I said, I just skimmed this. I had really not very much time to look at it. Exalted Hero, the BSB can take marks, so that's a big deal. Because the problem is, if you want him to have a magic standard, he can't take other magic items. And you don't want your BSB to die, so usually I like the battle standard to have defenses. And in this case, you can take that mark that gives fear. That's, in a way, a roundabout defense. There's another one. Where are the defensive ones? Oh yeah, Third Eye of Tzeentch allows reroll ward saves that you roll that are 1s. So if you roll a 1, you get to re-roll it. So that's like an augment to a ward save. Let's see here. Okay, so let's move on. All right, core units. This is where I spent some time, actually. Chaos Warriors now, it's not a flat amount to buy the mark for the entire unit. It's per model. However, they did go down in cost by 1 point. So quite frankly, I think just your plain old Chaos Warrior is possibly the absolute best unit in the game. They're amazing with a 4-up save, weapon skill 5, initiative 5, strength toughness 4 each, 8 leadership, which is decent. Just Chaos Warriors are ridiculous. I would run them 7 wide, 3 deep, and then maybe so that's 21 guys. Maybe if you're running heroes, go down to 19 just to open up the spots, or I don't know, stay at 20. That's about right. 7 wide is a good formation for these guys. They can have additional hand weapons. That's amazing for just 2 points a model, but it does make their save go from 3 to 4 as opposed to keeping the shield, which is, oh no, they don't come automatically with the shield. They just have hand weapon and chaos armor. So, yeah, the marks like additional hand weapons and Mark of Cahorn would give that unit 4 attacks per model on the front line, and that is shred tad. That's 28 attacks at strength 4. That's just absolutely amazing. You could give that same unit halberds and make them have 21 attacks plus the champ, of course, at strength 5. So I got to tell you, Chaos Warrior is a low model count army, and Chaos Warriors are just so incredibly strong. Marauders actually went up a point. They're naked. They just have a hand weapon. They do get, the Chieftain gets an Eye of the Gods roll, but quite frankly, the points cost for the upgrades just proportionally are not, like, it costs the same to upgrade these guys with these marks as it does a Chaos Warrior. So which one am I going to invest in? So Marauders on foot, just the jury's out. Now Forsaken, let's just compare these guys to Chaos Warriors. First off, they are 5 points a model more, but their movement goes to 6. So just for that could turn it for these guys. They do have weapon skill 4, initiative 4, so that's lower. Attacks D3, the average there is 2, so that's the same. But they do get their mutations, and they're immune to psychology and have frenzy. So between the frenzy, which is not really a disadvantage anymore, between the frenzy and the movement increase, quite frankly, I'd say take a unit of Forsaken, if for no other reason than to just, have something different in your army. So if I were making a Warriors of Chaos army, I'd do 20 Chaos Warriors, 20 Forsaken, and you're looking at about, I don't know, about 800 points there. So you're at least a third of the way through just with those 2 units. Now, Chaos Warhounds, I can't tell if there's a change. Chaos Chariot, this is what I wanted to talk about. This is sick. Don't think of leaving home without your Chaos Chariot. I would get at least 1 to accompany each unit of infantry. They are, because that's what a chariot does, is it slides into the corner when you charge in and adds a little extra punch to that charge. And even a chariot by itself can just go absolutely to town. I'm going to grab my High Elf book and talk to you about why the Chaos Chariot is incredibly awesome. First off, it has a new kit out. In fact, let's see if we can just find a picture of that. So the chariot kit makes this one. This is in special. This is a Gore Beast chariot, which is awesome too. Awesome looking and awesome in the game. Let's see if we can just find the regular chariot here. No. Oh, come on. Show me a picture of the chariot. Be good to me now. There she is. Oh, yeah. That's awesome. So there's your chariot. And great, just an amazing model. Hats off to GW for just doing a great job on their new figs. And they're spoiling us. They're absolutely spoiling the fans here because, all right, so Chaos Chariot is 110 points. So let's go over to the High Elf book. And let's see how much a Lion Chariot costs. Or let's just find something comparable there. White Lions, Silver Helms, Illyrian Revis. Okay, White Lion of... Okay, Lion Chariot of Trace. Well, so that's 140 points for a White Lion Chariot. And the High Elf version has a 4-up armor save, wounds 4, toughness 4. So let's go to the... Now, of course, it always strikes first and causes fear, but that's not everything. So the Chaos Chariot has 4 wounds and 5 toughness, is only 110 points, and has a 3-up armor save. So vastly more durable. The hitting power on this thing is ridiculous. It has 2 Chaos Warriors that each strike at strength 5 with halberds with 2 attacks each and weapon skill 5. That is amazing. It has scythes and can take a mark too. So the chariot's problem is if it loses, it doesn't have ranks, or like it relies on that punch for that first round of combat. So you have to look at that as the strength of the chariot. So which mark is best for the chariot? I'm gonna say Mark of Corn is probably the best one for the chariot, because that'll give it 6 strength 5 attacks from the charioteers on round 1. All right, so Marauder Horsemen, this is an example of there's different units that do different roles in the army. So the question is, which one do you want to do which? So the fact is, the core units are really awesome in this book. And if you just take your 2 units of Chaos Warriors or a unit of Chaos Warriors and Forsaken, your core requirement is pretty much blown out of the water. You're doing good on that. So you really don't, you need to think, well, where else could you go for different things? Personally, I'd take 2 chariots in my army. And that would bring it up to right around 1,000 points, especially if you add marks and upgrades. Right around 1,000 points just with that. Fantastic. So do you really need Marauder Horsemen to like run around and be harassers? No, you don't. You need Hellstriders. Hellstriders are ridiculous. Like they've got like 7 special rules. Fast cavalry, Eye of the Gods for the unit champion, demonic attacks, armor piercing, and poisoned attacks for the Steed of Slaanesh. Granted, it's only 1 attack at strength 3, but that really boosts it up. They're fear. They're also soul hunters. You know, I looked that up the other day. What does soul hunters do? Where are we now? There it is, soul hunters. When they destroy an enemy unit in close combat, they gain a bonus special rule. So it's a little bit like the Dark Eldar Pain tokens. And so if they get 1, if they destroy their first unit, they get Devastating Charge. Then they get Stubborn, and then they get a 4+ ward save. And of course there's cool names for them: Insensible to Agony, Intoxicating Delirium, Fueled by Pain, all of that. So, all right, so we've got our Hellstriders. And, okay, you know, it's funny how just one little number can just change something entirely. And that is, bing, movement 10. Movement 10, fast cavalry. Are you kidding me? That is so fast. That is so just ridiculous. And they can have, like I said, the Hell Scourges, which is always strikes first in the first round of combat. They have spears and shields, which is, spears are the best thing for fast cavalry if you're going to charge them into close combat at all, because it's like a mini lance. Well, actually, lances would be the best thing. Never mind. Never mind me. See how you shouldn't listen to me? So you've got Chosen. I haven't really looked at them. Chaos Knights look to be more or less the same. Ogres, dragon. Okay, dragon ogres. New models for these are ridiculous. I would take a unit of 3 just because they're on the demi-griff type bases, which I do believe are 50 by 75, and the new models are just awesome. 60 points a model, 3 attacks. That is down, so basically their points went down. And what I heard from Josh is that the points went down more or less all over in the special units. So good for them. Basically, they are strength 5, toughness 4. You got to look at defenses. They have a 5-up scaly skin, so that's not bad. These guys are your hard hitters. All right, let's move on. Chaos Trolls, Chimera. Oh, Chimera's 230 points. Yeah, I have to say that that's a toughie. The Flaming Breath is awesome, and they do fly. So the question is, what role does this guy play? And that's a lot of points to put into a harassment unit. But oh, what a harassment unit it is. But it is in special, so it's not taking up, it's a monster not taking up a rare choice. And that's nice. Your Gore Beast Chariot, for 20 points more, oh my gosh, for 20 points more, how does it stack up with the regular chariot? Let's see here. The stat lines, oh my, all right, it's got toughness 6. All right, well, that just did it. Yeah, I don't know why I would take a regular Chaos Chariot when you can take this Gore Beast Chariot. That's ridiculous. The only the only reason would be to bump up your core, but like I said, your core points are looking good just with the cost of those big guys, you know, the Chaos Warriors. So Gore Beast Chariot, the Gore Beast has 3 attacks at strength 5, so that's different than the Chaos Horses, which are 2 attacks at strength 4, and the weapon skill I do believe is 1 higher. Well, yeah, it is. The Gore Beast is actually higher. Here's the downside. Are you ready? It's movement 6. So that is pretty slow. But if you're accompanying your main units, if you're trying to get that simultaneous charge in, well, I'd have to say the Gore Beast is probably the way to go. Causes fear. It can also have marks. Let's see here. Yeah, and it causes fear. Yeah, I gotta say that's a winner. Chaos War Shrine is awesome. It is a synergy unit. You're throwing those special abilities on local guys. So quite frankly, I would take 1 or 2 Chaos War Shrines to follow that central block. And that, see, it's a real, just an absolute panoply of different stuff in this book. I mean, 7 rare choices. I don't even know where to start. So, you know what? I'm just going to save. I'm going to, hold off on this. Notably, the new guys are in here, the Slaughter Brute and Mutalith Vortex Beast, but I haven't read those in enough detail to talk expertly. All right, well, that's what I have for you today, folks. If you want to save yourself the trouble, you can just have us make your Warriors of Chaos army. So by all means, check the liner notes for contact information. Should be below or to the side of this video. And we have helpful experts on hand waiting to receive your email or call and set up your painted Warriors of Chaos army. Thanks for tuning in. It's always an honor.